Welcome to Sipping Reality with Jill and
Megan.
How are you doing today?
I mean, I was feeling a little bit sad earlier, but we just laughed a lot, so I feel a little bit better right now.
Well, usually recording makes us laugh a lot.
Aw.
I always feel better after.
This guy just messaged me on Field.
What does it say?
He said, "You seem absolutely wonderful. Not to jump ahead or make assumptions, but sometimes I'm extra excited about a match, and this is one of those cases. I really appreciate how you express yourself here."
You know what my first initial reaction is?
He laughed. He went,
Covert narcissist. Right there.
right?
He wants to make you feel special right off the bat.
I feel special.
Yeah, you did. You were like, oh.
It was sweet. Oh my god, I was annoyed with this other guy's message, and now I actually think somebody's sweet, and you're like, oh, you're so hard on people, Megan.
Yeah, the other guy was trying to be cute. This guy's trying to make you feel special. It's like narcissist, red flag, red flag, red flag. That's all I hear.
What if he's not a narcissist? and
He might
he's
not be.
Just really, actually, genuinely excited.
Well, then maybe you should message him and find out. I'm sure you'll find out very quickly. Because usually you do. As long as you know what you're looking for, you find out very quickly.
He likes to dance.
Sure. He might like a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Pretty extensive profile here.
Anyways, I had an interesting message this morning. What was it about? Oh, I started talking to this Torah believer about having like a commune, basically, right? I mean, that's not what they call it, but talking about going and living out on your own and just foraging and farming and doing all your own,
Like everything that we want to do.
everything, but then do it in a community of other believers where you end up being in like this weird kind of community that always ends up making its own rules and its own laws and its
A cult.
own, well, that's where I'm headed, right?
Okay,
So
I thought so.
they end up being cultish, and then these communities, all of the ones that I'm aware of and I've known people that I've been a part of, I've never heard of one of them that's actually doing anything for the communities around them or doing anything that, again,
They just isolate themselves.
Yes, the foundation of their belief is based on. So what I said to this person was, yes, I know a lot of Buddhists and spiritual people that believe in health. What was... I keep doing that. Okay. I don't know where it is. No, I don't know where this is. I'm looking for something.
Are you sure?
Yes. Get people talking and expose it that way. We are called to be light, but part of that. Okay. So he's talking about being a oh, yeah. Okay. So this person is messaging me talking about how if you learn to grow your own food and do all of this, we can be a light to the world by bringing the truth of our food industry and how corrupt the food industry is to the world. And that's being a light, and that's doing what the word says, because you're bringing the light to the truth, to the darkness, right? But most of the people that I know that are actually living really pure and healthy and enjoy natural medicine and foraging and are against a lot of the ingredients in our supermarket food today actually aren't believers in the Bible.
No. Yeah. They're actually more like, I would say, like New Agey.
Yes. Buddhists,
Yeah.
like yogis, Buddhist, Hinduism type believers, or people who are just think of themselves as spiritual.
Yes.
Right? And I do think that there's a lot of people out there, believers and non-believers, and I mean believers in the Bible specifically, because I'm talking about Torah believers, that do bring light to this. I think there's a lot of focus on that out there if you look at social media and things. And yeah, some people choose to ignore it. There is a lot of information if you want to learn about health and the health of our food industry.
Yeah, but if you are doing those things and you're isolated from the world, how are you being a light? Because like farmers that are homesteading and stuff don't have any influence on my life.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I live in an urban city. Yeah.
That's my point. These communities that I'm aware of where they're doing this solely for them.
Yeah.
They're not in the world, being a light in the world.
Well,
They're not bringing
That doesn't influence
truth.
anybody either.
No, and then they have to make their own rules in order to have this community. And then whether they're a cult or not, they're going to be seen as one.
Right.
And that does not attract the general population.
Not that it's a bad thing to have a homestead, because I want a homestead so bad.
I do and I don't.
No, I would have to have a team.
Yes.
Like, I'm not running that freaking thing on my own.
No, I couldn't do it. I can't.
And I can tell you more about my,
it's a lot of
my
work.
team on our other podcast episode.
About your team?
Yeah.
Oh.
My homestead team.
Your homestead? Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Anyone open to our other page, please listen to this. If you're as excited to hear about Megan's homestead team that would fit onto our other page.
It's just a fantasy.
Oh, I can't
Sipping
wait
Reality
to hear.
X.
I think you talked to me about this, didn't you?
I think I did, yeah.
With like the barn and the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's good.
You did tell me a little bit
It's
about it.
fun.
Oh, I want to hear all the details.
Yeah, it would be great to live the rest of my life like that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And I would not be doing all of the farm chores.
No.
They would be paid to do that.
Well, there would have to be a lot of help. It's a lot of work to grow all of your own stuff. You can't grow and make and have the skills to do all of your own stuff. You have to have a community.
Yeah.
Because no one person can grow, cook, store, build, create, fix, care for everything that needs to be cared for to be 100% self-sufficient.
I mean, even not on a homestead, a family at a home.
Like how we live.
Yeah, we
We're
need help,
struggling.
and we don't have it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's slowly falling apart.
We used to have community, and we don't anymore.
Yes. There's less and less. I do know people that still have good family that have a lot of help, and that's beautiful. And if you're one of those families, keep going.
Wow, yeah.
Because the world needs more of that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that those of you who have family that helps.
Cherish it.
Yes, and that's close. That, yeah, it's good. It's a good thing for you. And for those of us that don't, it's really, really challenging. And then we're out here like trying to date. And that's just, it doesn't make it easier.
No.
It just makes it all harder because you're not dating to find somebody to like take over your life and help you out, because if you were, you're never going to find someone. They're all going to be scared away instantly, understandably.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
But now you're trying to, or I'm trying to, handle a home and children and sports and school and homework and house repairs and all of these things. And I'm trying to date on my free time.
Free time.
My free time.
When all
which
I
don't
really
have.
want is to go to bed with someone every night. That would just be really nice.
Right? Can we just like hire like a snuggle buddy at night?
I think that they do have cuddle parties.
I know, but I
No.
need more than that. I
No,
don't
but
want
I can't
cuddle
with
party.
someone that I don't have a connection with
Exactly.
either. Ugh.
Because I don't want to just cuddle. I want to touch, and maybe we should get into this on the other.
Yeah, no, I mean, we could keep it PG. I really do. I like cuddling, but I couldn't cuddle somebody that I didn't have like a chemistry and a connection with. It would feel weird. Like I wouldn't want to look at them.
You just want to close your eyes and pretend they were someone else.
Yeah, or they could just stay behind me and like play with my hair, cuddle me, and I don't have to look at them. I can just picture that there's somebody that I like.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's really
But I want
weird.
to wake up with someone in the morning. I
too.
want more than that.
I want to make them
That's not
breakfast. I want to kiss them. I want to
Yes.
have a lovely time. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's more.
No, there is so much more.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we need to be rich, and I need to have a nanny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
I was watching a bunny outside. Yeah, I got distracted. And I was thinking about a nanny. It went away. It's gone. It hopped away.
so yeah, that's what I've been thinking about today and considering in respect to what we spoke about last week is the oppression of that, and then again how it ties into
I love how we just like straight up went from freaking cuddling in bed to just like, yeah, so that's
cuddling and buddies, because I wanted to make a point and I just thought of
sorry.
the point that I wanted to make, so I
Totally.
like circled back around.
I actually cut off the other conversation with cuddling, so
It's okay. I went there with you.
You did.
I did not go there. I told now I just want to cuddle. I would love for someone to be sitting behind me cuddling with me right now.
I know.
It'd be wonderful.
Or somebody rubbing my feet.
And vice versa. I'm a giver.
I am too.
I'm all about giving. I am sad to not have somebody to cuddle, to give to them.
No, I think that I crave that just as much as I crave someone being there for me and doing things for me. But like giving of myself, like I crave that. Oh,
I don't like to cook. I hate to cook, but I think about having somebody to cook a dinner for and to have them come home.
Bring the falafel over. How come you didn't remind me?
Well, we were talking about food and eating food together, and we
I made
didn't
a big
go
batch
there.
of falafel, and it's at the house.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, that's true.
You know. So, okay, let's get to this point.
Oppression?
Point. It wasn't about oppression, though.
Last
It was
week.
about the fact that
Not being a light.
being a religious person, often when you dive deep into it, we end up defending and fighting for and debating and doing all of these things, but not actually living out the life that we're fighting for.
Right.
And that's what I hear in that. That's what I've seen happen in that very thought process. Yes, that sounds wonderful. That's a great idea. There's people living that way who are getting homesteads and going and living off the land, and it's amazing and healthy and good. Just like you said, you would love to live that way. But the problem is in these communities where people are creating communities around a religious belief, what ends up happening, whether it ends up being a cult or not, like I said before, they end up living this isolated life where they're not actually doing what the word that they're defending says to do.
They're only interacting with each other.
Yes, and we made that point last week. And so thinking about that conversation this morning, it tied into the discussion we had last week where we were talking about how studying so much and getting so deep into it and making up all these rules around rules ends up taking us away from the light and the very faith that it all started off with. And that was a piece that connected right in. She is really into this app right now.
She got me on it.
I did.
Yesterday.
I did. She said, so should I make a profile again? I said, yes.
She said, yes, you are, and we're going to set it up together. And
yeah,
so
I said,
did.
let's go meet for tea, and we'll set up your profile.
I'm probably going to end up deleting it because it's just annoying anyways.
She always does that. Just stick with it for a little while. Because then she's going to complain that there's nobody to talk to, but she won't talk to anyone. She lets all these people message her. She rarely messages anyone back, and then she gets annoyed and deletes it. And then she says that she can't meet anyone. And I'm like, well, of course you can't meet anyone. You don't message anyone back, and then you delete the app after 2 days.
I get really overwhelmed with messages.
It is overwhelming at first, but it does die down. It stops.
Yeah.
It's not as active. No, I barely have any messages now.
I know, but I have
after being on for a while.
messages on my other profile.
But that's because you never respond to messages.
That's true.
If you responded to messages,
still be like 300 conversations that I'm trying to keep up with.
No, because they fade off. So many of them fade off so quick. It's ridiculous.
That's true.
I mean, I would love to have some people commenting as if this were live, right? That would be great if we were live right now.
Yeah, we should start doing
I would love having you all chiming in, being like, yeah, in agreement to me, and letting Megan know that I am right about these dating apps.
I need to give people a chance.
You have to converse a little bit, and most people just stop messaging. So it's not like you're going to be in 300 conversations for the next week.
That's true.
You message back 300 people, 100 of them aren't going to message you back, or they're going to say something that doesn't leave you room to leave a message back because they're not good at conversing. Mm-hmm. It's going to turn you off because you need that mental stimulation. Mm-hmm. They're not going to mentally stimulate you. They're not going to give you any reason to reply. You're not going to reply. You're already down to 150 messages to reply to now. Next set of messages, they're going to say something, or you're going to say something that already shows that you guys aren't going to work because you're into different things, you're wanting different things, your lifestyles don't match, or you find out that the app says they're 5 miles away, but they were just visiting someone and they actually live 200 miles away.
That's a no
and
thank
you're
you.
like, okay, no thank you.
That's true.
Now you're down to 50 messages. In 3 days, you're only down to 50 messages.
True.
By the end of the week, you're going to be down to 2 messages, and you're going to end up with 2 guys that you're actually in a long-term conversation with. And this is how I know.
Because you've done
I
it.
know this because I respond to every single person that messages
She's so
me.
good at it. Honestly, I don't.
Either I'm good at it or I'm just something's wrong with me.
Nope. I don't know. You like are really good at responding to people.
I do. I respond to
I'm
everybody.
awful.
Always.
I'm awful. And people go to you saying, what happened to me?
Yes.
What happened to Megan?
Yes. Even if I don't like the person, I'll say, okay, this is why I'm not going to message you anymore because of these reasons. Mm-hmm. And then I don't message them anymore. But I always tell them why I'm not going to message them. Yeah. Because it's just, because I like to be a good person.
I am not a good person, apparently.
Well, see, I shouldn't have said it that way. For me, I believe that that's part of being a good person. So it's important for me to do that because it's important that people do that for me and people don't, and I don't like it. So I choose to do that for other people, whether they care or not. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do that for other people.
Because you want them to know why you're going to continue or not continue speaking to them. Because you would want to know.
I think it's thoughtful and respectful. Yeah. And I want to be thoughtful and respectful. Okay, now I'm saying that you're not thoughtful and respectful. Oh my goodness. I can't have this conversation.
Digging yourself a hole.
Well, you keep looking like a
I'm
crappy
not a good
person.
I'm not thoughtful and respectful. Oh, man.
Megan has become a wonderful human being over the years. She used to be way more...
Selfish?
I wouldn't say selfish. You've always been thoughtful. Mm-hmm. But I think it's more like self-absorbed, where you get overwhelmed with your life. And so you block everything out. And it's not that you're not thoughtful, because you're very thoughtful when you're not in that space. Yeah. You're very caring. You go above and beyond for people. Like, there's people that just aren't thoughtful. Right. Like, you're not thoughtful. No. You just get in these overwhelming spaces, and you've had a lot of trauma and people that have kept you in these overwhelming
and I was spaces. Dissociate really bad.
Yes, you dissociate a lot really easy, and when you do that, you can't see outside of that bubble that you're in, and therefore it appears as if you're not being thoughtful, but you as a person are actually a very thoughtful person.
Well, I appreciate that.
And respectful.
Thank you.
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
I do think about people a lot.
You do. I mean, how many times have you done things for me and helped me out?
And I screw up a lot.
You like to feed me? Oh, I love that.
I know. I love feeding you.
Yes. It's wonderful. I love being fed.
And I know I've been unthoughtful sometimes with our friendship, and you felt alone and like I'm not there, and you listen to everything that I say, and I'm not listening to everything that you need to say, and I know I do that too, so that sucks. But I recognize that I do that. And
and you've gotten way better. You have gotten way better.
Or I'm like, wow, I'm like totally up in my mind right now. She needs me.
Well, this brings up a really good point. Yeah. That... What was the point?
You need me.
That it's gone. Oh, that when you're in relationship with someone, you don't just walk away because they don't appear thoughtful or respectful for a little period of time. We give people a chance and we give people grace. And if they prove over time that they're willing to look at themselves and they're actually making changes and growing, they're people worth keeping in your life. Right. Rather than what we do today where, one red flag, boom, gone. Yeah. How many people have we met where the first time you've been unthoughtful, they're not your friend anymore? Yeah. And that's toxic. Yeah. We talked about this before on, I forget which episode, but we talked about this, that it's actually toxic to walk away from somebody that easily. And then there's people that really won't look at themselves or really will say that they do something wrong but will never change. Yes. And you need to walk away from them if you want any health in your life, because they're toxic. Yep. But it's also toxic to be the one to so quick to run away. Because if I ran away from me and Megan's friendship because she backed away from me at points when I felt I needed her or whatever, we wouldn't have the friendship we have today.
And I totally made you feel abandoned a few times. Completely. Where you're like, damn, I needed her, and she's...
I'm an emotional masochist.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that out loud for the very first time.
Well, that
I'm here
proud
to
of you.
admit that
My name is Jill.
my name is Jill, and I am an emotional masochist, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't like that quality about myself very much,
My
but I
name
have
is Megan, and I dissociate really bad a lot of the time.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm like you said, I'm a lot better at that. I'm honestly, I find myself dissociating a lot less in my life now, and recognizing it when I am dissociating. You even on the phone, sometimes you're like, you are dissociating right now.
Yeah, I point it out now.
Or
Sometimes.
when we're together, you're like, wow, you're just like not here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shoot. I'm
Yep.
like, yeah, I just...
But look what Megan did. So she was on her way over here for us to record today. And she sent me this text. Be there in 10. And I sent her a message back saying, I love you, Megan. And I'm not sure she knows why I sent her that message. But it's because she sent a text saying, be there in 10. Like, Megan hasn't always been that thoughtful and that conscious of, like, sending those little communications.
Yeah.
But she did that this morning, and I was like, wow.
I actually...
Like, I get to see your journey. Like, you're like, it's so cool to have a friend and for us to see each other grow and change and become more thoughtful, better people.
You know what's funny? I actually thought you were going to be mad at me because I was late. And then you said you loved me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I never would have known that.
Yeah.
But see, that's my growth.
Yeah.
No, but you weren't late. You had to shower and eat.
Yeah.
So I knew you were going to be a little while.
Here 15 minutes later than I was
Than
supposed to
expected,
be.
but I knew you had to eat and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I know.
okay.
Okay.
So, I mean...
But I appreciate that because, yeah, I have been very unthoughtful of your time in the past, too, where you're like, wow, like...
Well, this is a big issue that I find, is that every single time things are going good for me, something really heartbreaking is happening for Megan. And it's not her fault.
It's like vice versa, too.
Yes, and it's not her fault, but like, I want to be excited, I want to be happy because something happy is happening, and she's going through some like really painful thing, and I'm like, oh, I can't tell my best friend about how happy I am right now, or I'm a jerk. And then, I don't know, it's like that I miss, it's not only sharing the negative down times, it's missing out sometimes on sharing those joyful times because somebody else isn't necessarily in a joyful
I'm just
time.
going to shove my happiness in your face. But I don't ever really feel like that when you share your happiness with me when I'm sad.
But I feel like in the last 6 months, every single time I've had something really good happen, it's always when have been your lowest points.
Yeah.
And it's this bad cycle that's been happening.
Yeah, I think...
And it's neither of our faults. It's just the way life happens to be falling.
Yeah, I mean, same, like, when you're sad, I'm like, this is great. You're like, no, it's not. Why am I braiding the end of my braid?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think I'm irritated at how the top of my braid came out. Okay.
Well, you could just totally redo that.
I don't want to, because it's going to be, like, drier.
I think they
like
look
when you
fine.
first get out. Yeah, it's fine. It's only to curl my hair anyways.
They're fine.
Thanks.
Do we have a conclusion for today?
I don't think we do.
I'm not sure.
I mean, we were just talking about homesteading and isolating and really, like, people that are trying to lead...
Spiritual lives.
Spiritual lives.
Religious lives, I should say.
Yeah, religious, because they want to, like, be the light on the hill, but they're, like, actually not interacting with anybody but their, quote, own kind.
Yes, and so
But I see that in a lot of social circles, too.
Yes, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm looking to...
Not do that? I mean,
yes,
simply.
Yes. Yeah, simply put, I'm looking to come out of that.
I want to be inclusive.
And to be in the world.
I want to be inclusive.
I want to remain me, standing on my faith and my belief in who I should be as a person, but do that in the world amongst people.
Right.
Caring for them, thoughtful of them and their beliefs and their life.
Yeah.
Also.
Yep.
Yes. That's a good conclusion.
I'm in the same place. Yeah.
That's
oh my
a
God,
great
I wish you could have
conclusion.
seen her face. She was like, yeah.
I don't don't think they can see your face.
They can't, but maybe my expression in my voice, the tone of my voice
helps them to see what my face looks like.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you once again for joining in, and don't forget to like, subscribe. Please share with people.
Yes, we love you all.
That you know that you think would enjoy this.
And we appreciate you for listening. Thank you.